وفي العز للعبد الذليل تبلغ بالقليل من القليل بالقليل من القليل وهي السد للسفر الطويل وهي السد للسفر الطويل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Beloved listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I have just quoted from the final communication of Allah to us, the Holy Quran. He declares, O those who believe, those who have Iman, be true to Allah and be pure in His sight, and be of those who are always truthful and honest. We speak about honesty, but in reality, if we look around us, we will see that there is more dishonesty, there is more fraud and cheating around us than honesty. As one of Iqbal's great admirers and one who extended the lines of Iqbal in his poem Quran Ki Faryad, Mahirul Qadiri says, Neki pe badi ka ghalba hai, sachai se badhkar dhoka hai. That righteousness is overshadowed by evil and wrong. And greater than truth and honesty is to cheat and to deceive. And that is why Allama Iqbal, seeing what is around us, he talks about the ideal Muslim who lived just before our times. He says, Har Musalman rage batil ke liye nashtar tha, uske aine hasti mein amal johar tha. जो भरोसा था उसे कुव्वत बाजू पर था है तुम्हें मौत का डर उनको खुदा का डर था. Every Muslim, for any notion of evil, he was like a sharp blade, a sharp sword, cutting it into smithereens. And he himself, he was the mirror of good deeds and righteousness. He was an epitome and an embodiment of deeds. Uske aayi nae hasti mein amal johar tha. Jo bharosa tha, use quwwat bazu par tha. If he depended on anyone or anything, he depended on himself and his power and his strength and his will. है तुम्हें मौत का डर उनको खुदा का डर था. You are afraid of death. They were only afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, if we analyze this, first of all, Muslim is a nashtar, sharp blade, sharper than sharp against every evil notion, every negative vibe. He wipes it out because he believes in his Nabi Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was even before he became a Nabi, was as-sadiq and al-amin, the honest, the upright, the true, the sincere, the trustworthy. So this sharp blade of truth and honesty is always facing falsehood and opposed to it. And his deeds are also honest deeds. The spirit of honesty pervades everything that he does. His sincerity is foremost. It is like a jewel. Hasti mein amal jawhar tha. It was a shining jewel. Jo bharosa tha usse quwwat bazu par tha. If he depended on anyone, he did not look around for help from anyone, because he was prepared himself at all times, and he was ready to face any eventuality. Hai tumhe maut ka dar, unko khuda ka dar tha. You are afraid of death, but they were afraid of Allah and Allah alone. So we see today we need to get back to our values. Falsehood, deceit, cheating is all around us. Muslim is an active force against all these things. Every effort of his is based on truth, not on hypocrisy, which is worse than falsehood. He says, Batil du'i pasand hai, haq la sharik hai. Evil, falsehood, wrong, loves duality and plurality. But truth is like Allah, non-pareil, alone, without partner, la sharik. Truth is la sharik. And remember that one of Allah's attributes is al-haq, the absolute truth. Shirkat miyan ay haq o batil nakar kabul. And sometimes you are in a situation where we have to be dubious and we cannot make shirkat, we cannot make shirk. That is joint partners with truth and falsehood. Truth is truth. And a true Muslim is not afraid. A true Muslim, against all odds, he will speak the truth. As the Nabi said, قُلِ الْحَقَّ وَلَوْ كَانَ مُرًّا. Speak the absolute truth, even if it may prove to be bitter and distasteful to others. So we find the description of a Muslim. Aine jawan marda haq go ye be baki, Allah ke sheron ko aati nahi robahi. What must I tell you is the sign of a real, brave, true and courageous Muslim? Haq go ye be baki. He will always speak the truth. Only truth will come out of his mouth. And baki, he will be fearless and courageous and daring. Aine jawan marda haq go yo baki ke Allah ke sheron ko aati nahi robahi. Why? Because the lions of God know not how to behave like the cunning fox. Yes, the world is full of sly people, full of people who have ulterior motives. A Muslim does not behave like a cunning fox. That is what Iqbal says. And jo bharosa tha usse quwwat bazu par tha. And he only depended on himself if he had to execute anything that was before him. For the Quran says, وَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ تُرْهِبُونَ بِهِ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ وَعَدُوَّكُمْ. And prepare yourselves with power and horsepower to the extent that you may instill fear and awe into the hearts of the enemies of Allah and your enemies. Yes. And a Muslim is not afraid of death. A true Muslim never runs away from death. He runs towards death. Allah tells us, وَلَا تَخَافُوهُمْ وَخَافُونِي. and do not be afraid of them. And if you want to fear or be afraid of anyone, then fear me and me alone. But today, we are always afraid of all those who are around us. A Muslim is not a one who runs away from death. He runs towards death. Shahadat hai matloob wa maqsood hai mu'min. Shahadat hai matloob wa maqsood hai mu'min. Na male ghanimat na kishwar kushayi. To die in the way of Allah, to be a martyr in the cause of truth, is the aim and the ultimate goal of one who believes. He is not interested in wealth. He is not interested in dominion, rule, and power. And that is what a Muslim is. As the Quran says, Muhammadur Rasulullah walladina ma'ahu ashidda'u 'alal kuffari ruhama'u bainahum. Muhammadur Rasulullah and his band of lovers and followers are harsh and unrelenting against every negative and false force, but they are loving and kind amongst themselves. And therefore, as Iqbal says, that we have to learn the lessons of truthfulness, of honesty, and based on that, we must have justice, and based on that, we must be courageous. But sadaqat is basic. And if we fulfill these three qualities, we will be called upon to take the leadership of the world which awaits us. Sabak phir par, sadaqat ka, adalat ka, shujaat ka, liya jayega tujhse kaam, dunya ki imamat ka. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وفي العز للعبد الذليل تبلغ بالقليل من القليل من القليل وهي السد للسفر الطويل وهي السد للسفر الطويل